So here we go. So I have it on the SV Bony, and right now it's at the 45-degree angle. And, you know, it actually, yeah, you can go all the way up and pretty much even lower than the horizon. I don't even think you need to go that low, really. You do gotta put it to clear this. I don't know if you can see that. So to clear this slow motion control, I gotta put it all the way to the back of the Vixen bar. It is holding it, you know, fairly good. I mean, it's not rock solid, but it's not bad at all. I think I could be happy with that. And that's with this Vixen bar all the way to the front. Even when I loosen this, you know, it's actually not slipping at all. Now, I guess I'm gonna need a dew shield on this guy. So yeah, it works pretty well. Now I could also get another, that slow motion control. It's kind of like a shorty or half one. This one over here is, you know, about 4 inches longer. I could probably reverse them because this one will just be further. Or I think I got one that's a long one, like a 12-inch one. So it'll come around here instead of being, well, I'm not gonna have a finder scope here anyway. So, but it feels good on this mount. I would say it's pretty, you know, I think visually, maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell just off here, but it doesn't vibrate too much. Didn't have that tightened down. But I think visually you could probably use this guy at medium-ish high power. It might work, you know, pretty good. Again, for me, it's mostly deep sky objects. I'm not going really, really high power. Now, maybe for high power planetary viewing, might be a little bit shaky, maybe. But I guess this mount could probably work. I mean, they rated it for 20 pounds or 22 pounds, I believe, when I first reviewed this guy. And I said, that's probably a little bit too much. 15 pounds is probably fine. This guy's 11 pounds. It's really not that. So I think mostly it can do the job. This tripod is pretty decent. This is like 1.5 inch steel tripod, and this is a Slick Professional 2 model. So that's why it's actually good. Now I could bring this, you know, if I need more height, I could bring it a lot higher if I want to. That way I'm not really bending as much, but it can still go a lot higher than this. It can go this high, just to show you guys. Now, I don't think I need it that high, okay? But just showing you how high it could go. But of course, the higher you go, you know, the more probably vibrations it's gonna have. But I think overall, this could work for me. The only problem is I just weighed the mount. So let me show you guys. So I just weighed the mount and this tripod, this slow motion control, this head. This is 16 pounds. So that's the problem now. That guy is only 2 pounds more. And of course I can, so that, you know, I can take in the airplane. This I can collapse, of course. Wrong way. You know, I can collapse this and this can go in the luggage, but the other tripod was 5 pounds, okay? And this guy's 16. So there's an extra 11 pounds more. With the extra 2 pounds of the telescope, you know, that's 13 pounds more. For every pound that I put or whatever, it means less luggage, less personal items for me. This guy alone is 16 pounds. That's 11 pounds more than the AZ one, but it's gonna be much stronger. This, I have no problem going in a suitcase and that, hopefully as a carry-on. And I'm gonna try that, see how I like it. But again, I'm gonna have to compromise and have less stuff in my suitcase. But maybe in my suitcase, before I had the Heritage 6-inch, and that Omni mount. So that was, I had 16 pounds in the whole suitcase, but that was everything, telescope, tripod, and all. But now I'm gonna have the same thing in just this guy. So I guess technically I could carry the same amount of clothes I had, but I also had a backpack with the rest of my clothes. So we'll see if I could have 1 or 2 carry-ons, or the luggage, and then, yeah, maybe I can still have the carry-on with the telescope and my gym bag that goes underneath the seats. Because I didn't have actually a carry-on, I just used that. So that can work, okay? And that's it, guys. Tell me what you think, if you think this is a good idea, and hopefully 8 inches is good. If not, I can always try. If one of you guys tell me what the weight of a 9 1/4 inch and the length and the diameter, I don't know. But an extra 2 inches is going to help, definitely. No matter what zone you're at. That's it. Joe Jaguar, like, comment, and subscribe. Why not you? Why not me? Okay, guys, so I'm back. So I wanted to recap and see if I can make that 16 pounds of tripod less, okay? So just so you guys remember, this is the Celestron Omni mount, and this is what I took on both trips. And as you can see, the legs are actually, thinned. It's kind of like EQ1 legs. So the whole thing, what's nice, if you have something lightweight, it's 5 pounds total. So that's kind of neat. But I do have these EQ2 legs and this hub. I didn't have this hub, but I had an AZ3 mount where the head, one motion, the azimuth was actually broken. You have to move it by hand with the slow motion control. The teeth was like broken. So figure I'm gonna take the hub out, and maybe on these EQ2 legs, as you can see, it's a big difference. Big difference in the size. So remember that the 6-inch Heritage is 9 pounds and the SCT is 11 pounds, 2 pounds more. Using like this guy would actually be better than using this guy with the 6-inch. Hopefully that makes sense, I think, because this is more rock steady, or at least more steady. It's not going to be rock steady. But anyway, then I also figured, I wasn't sure exactly what the weight of this was. So this is 10 pounds. This one here is 5 pounds. So this one will be out of the, there'll be no way I can use the 8-inch SCT on that, right? So that's out. This guy is pretty solid, but it's 10 pounds, just this guy. And this guy is 5 pounds. I got a little bit higher on this one, but regardless, this one is more solid, but it's twice the weight. I think, and I'm thinking, hopefully you guys agree, that this guy will probably... So as we said on the last video, this guy on here was about 16 pounds. So this is about 10 pounds, this is about 6 pounds. So if I put this guy, I hope I can mount a way to do it like this. I'm pretty sure I can. And then this guy becomes total, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, it's 11 pounds in total versus 16 pounds being this one. So I know 5 pounds doesn't probably sound like much, but I think, on a plane, every pound counts, type of thing. So I'm gonna try to mount this guy on here, and then I'll try the 8-inch and see how I like it. But again, I'm not doing for super powered close-up or anything. It's still gonna be for, deep sky objects. Since I'll be at a latitude, let's say, that's about 23 degrees, according to the last couple trips I went further than me, I will see 23 degrees south of what I normally see. So maybe I can see stuff that I've never seen before. For instance, I did see the Omega Centauri globular cluster was the first time last year. That was pretty cool. So that's what I'm thinking, okay? So I did a lot of twinkering off camera to weigh this guy, that guy, this guy, and then I thought like, hey, I don't have a hub. It's probably gonna be, to find this sometimes a part like that is a little tricky. So it's like, wait a minute, I have an AZ3 that doesn't, well, half works, half doesn't. I'm never gonna use it really, so I might as well just take out the parts that I could use, and then I have a nice portable mount. I think that works good. Okay, guys, I'll let you guys see what happens in the next episode. Find a way to mount this guy. Okay, guys, so I'm going to try to mount this guy on here. Now, I was thinking, if you see this lip over here, maybe cutting that off so it's not sitting like up so high. But then I was thinking, you know, if I cut it and it doesn't work, then that's it. I don't have another hub to, and these are pretty hard to find. So what I did, I didn't want to guess what size bolt I have. So if I use this one, well, I had this one at home, which is 2 1/4 inch. And if I put it here, I don't know if you can just see that. It just pops up about, I'm not sure, 1/8 of an inch. It's not really enough. So I didn't want to guess how much more do I need. So what I did is actually screw this in and see how far in it goes, and it goes 3/4 of an inch. I figured, I tried 3 inch off camera and it was too wobbly. There was at least 1/4 of an inch that was out of place. So I figured, okay, it's between 2 5/8 of an inch or around 2 3/4 of an inch. But they only make these things in 1/2 inch increments. I got 2 1/2 inch. So I hope it's good, and this is how much pops up now. So I think that should be okay, and let's give it a try. Actually, you know what to do? I'm gonna take this arm off so it's easier to twist without having so much weight on one side. Okay, so first with lithium grease, white grease, I just put a little bit at where the threads are, and let's give it a shot. Just so it slips and it's not steel on steel. Okay, we can put the 8 inch SCT on. Now it's a little bit high right now, but just because working on the hub, I didn't want it to be so low. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I guess that's gonna, it vibrates a little bit on this tripod comparing to my other tripod. But I think for traveling and on a plane, it's just gonna help me keep the weight down. And this is probably a good height, I guess. Looking up, I can raise it on the bar. I still got a good 3 1/2 inches over here that I can raise it. But yeah, definitely not rock solid, but it's probably gonna be more sturdy, I think, than the Heritage on the little flimsy mount. So that might work, although this one's going to give you more power. More power means you're getting closer and the vibrations are amplified. But I think that works pretty good. Now maybe what I need to do next is see if I can get a type of bag or a carry-on for this guy, and then will this fit in my large suitcase? And then I'll be good to go. So I think that's probably all that's left. And I did order a AliExpress. They had a dew cap or a dew shield, and it was pretty cheap, like $18, but I think it was about $21 for shipping. So altogether it was about $40. I think there was a couple dollar discount. So $40, that's it. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. But here's the problem. Once I close it, doesn't close. So I gotta see what the maximum on the carry-on is. I'm pretty sure this will go on the onboard one, but I'm just not sure I trust it to go on the onboard luggage. Okay, I just did a quick search, and it looks like most are 22, so I'm okay this way. With the focuser, looks like it's about 18, so I might need 1 extra inch on either side, 18, 19, 20. So even if I go to 21, I'm safe there. 14, I'm going to take the finder out, is more than fine. It's already 9. Well, and if I take that bar into consideration, that might be closer to 10, and I'm not even packaging anything around it. Plus, I don't think it's going to fit on a carry-on. It's the width that's going to be a problem. So maybe on a carry-on, it's going to be a 6-inch SCT, the maximum. The other 2 lengths is fine, but not this way. Okay, that's cool. I was able to fit my original StarSense. That's the cheaper version that you buy in the reflecting telescopes, the smaller refractors, and the Dobson, onto this guy. I was able to find there's lots of different screws, and you know, the SET version StarSense is like expensive. Have that on here, or I could use the Astro Hopper. Which one? But I do like this this one better.